everything about being a midwife or everything about how medicine is practiced. You just say that you want women to be safe, and you support House Bill 207. But in my opinion, I think just by introducing the bill, we've stirred up enough that somebody is going to be against it, and they're going to say we need to get rid of midwives. When it comes to the calendar, what's going to happen to the bill, there are going to be days when they say, okay, the committee's going to talk about it and decide what to do tomorrow, perhaps. And all of a sudden, we're going to have to go to Jackson and tell them what we think and share our side, and it's going to be short notice. Feel free to call or email any of us before you go if you want a little bit of support, and definitely contact Bianca or someone else that you may know after, just to let us know any feedback so that we can keep track of who has been contacted, who is in favor of it, who, you know, if they're undecided or if they're against it. We just need to know that so we know who we need to be focused on. Just to piggyback off that, when I talk to people, they say, oh, my legislator said this and my legislator said that, and we need to have, other states have told us from experience that we need to centralize that information so that we don't want to take it to a floor to a vote if it's going to get shot down and then have that negative, it didn't pass in our record book. So we need to know before it goes to floor to a vote how many yes votes we're going to have. So we can't, that's why we need everyone that calls to report back to us, and we have a database where we're entering all that. And so that's why you have our phone numbers and emails. Right now, the bill has been filed in the House. We have a sponsor, and we hope to have co-sponsors on the bill. And I think the next step is that it has been referred to the Welfare and Health Committee. The next step would be for the committee to have a hearing. And at that point, we will want at least a handful of people to give their testimony and to speak at the hearing. Probably different, you know, people who have had a midwife, people who maybe have had hospital births but are in favor of this, you know, very different things. We'll probably want a midwife, a doula, you know, so people that are in the business and who are not. If you haven't ever called your legislators before, especially while they're in session, don't be intimidated. Usually you may not talk to them at all. A lot of times you'll be leaving a message, either a recorded message or with someone else. So really, most of the time on the phone while they're in session, all they want to know is, are you in favor of it or against it? Now, these are the people whose hands it's in now that we need to worry about, these 29 legislators.
Do we need to call all 29?
Yes, please.
As an individual?
Yes, please. Yeah, because this is who's holding it right now. And if these people don't push it forward, it's not going to happen. There's a copy of the bill as it stands right now. This is online. Any changes, any amendments that are going to be made to it, which there will likely be changes and amendments, will be posted online pretty quickly, almost immediately. In the packet also there's stickers, so if you make a visit, please wear a sticker. I think there's about 5 or so in your packet. If you want more, take more. But we want to be recognized. We want to have a presence there. That's what the signs are for and the tamprints are for, because we want them to see a blue heart and think midwife. So when they see us walk down the hall, even if you didn't talk to that person, they'll say, oh, that girl's with that other girl that came and talked to me before, and put the connection together. They're here. They're here. We need to have a presence, and they need to recognize it from our logo. If you don't have one on your car, please put one on your car. We will give them to you if you'll use them. If you will give us a donation form, that would be even better. Right now now about the bill, but you could even write a birthday card. I mean, you can any excuse to write to your legislator, and because that's just again with the logo recognition, it just they're gonna see blue and think midwife, and that's that many more people that are in support. And right now, I think with it being a new session, it would be an opportunity. You could just sit down, write a note, you know, congratulations on, you know, wishing you a successful 2011 congressional session. A good idea if you go to visit them in person with your kids, take a picture of the kids with the legislator, and then mail them a thank you note. Thanks for meeting with me. And by the way, here's a picture, you know, a copy of the cute picture that I got of Joseph and you. And then it's going to go on their bulletin board, and they're going to walk past it, and it's going to be in their face regularly, whereas the thank you note may not. Other states have told us this, that we don't, like Vanessa said, we don't want to convince them that their wife should have a home birth. Right. Listen to their concerns, though. You do want to listen, you know, don't argue back with them, even though a lot of it may be incorrect. Listen, take note, and that's where, if you want our support, we can give you all the backup information to send to them and say, oh, I noticed you had concerns about this. I wanted to give you some information. When I read that, I think that's not why I support home birth. And I don't need a CPM, and birth is safe, and all those things that the reason. That's not why I support the bill. Yeah, that's not why I support the bill. But that's why they do, and we have to sell to them.
I have two things I find myself saying pretty often. One is when if I get anything negative, like home birth isn't safe, home birth, why would anybody in their right mind choose to be in an unsafe place, not to be in a hospital where there's a doctor and an operating room, all these things, I say, you are not interested in making home birth illegal, are you? And they say, no, of course not, because that would be like a civil liberty. You're not going to make it illegal for a woman to have a baby wherever she chooses. No. Well then, in that case, you know, what you're making illegal is for there to be someone attending this woman and taking care of her.